If I had my way, everything would be so nice. This world would be like Paris. No, it would be a paradise. No one would ever have to say, I'm gonna get my wish someday. All one would have to do is say, this is my order, if you may.
Welcome to another episode of The School Without Walls. I am Dr. Anthony O. Hobbs, host and founder of this educational program called The School Without Walls. The purpose of this program is to educate, elevate primarily the African American community. The question might be, why the African American community? We believe that charity begins at home and it spreads abroad, and that scripture is referring to love. Love starts within the family and it spreads abroad. That's the major reason we are stressing that. Secondly, as an African American family, we've had a unique experience in the Americas. No other minority group has experienced the institution of slavery, and that has set us way back. So I'm encouraging especially black pastors, who are about the only group of people we have today that have access to our people weekly in the position of leadership, to listen to the program and encourage others to do so, and then do your very best to do what the objectives of this program are. The objectives are to, number one, is to mentor young African American males, especially those who don't have a male figure in their immediate environment or in their home. And secondly, our theme is Black History after February. Every other ethnic group has a better knowledge of its history than the African American. And if you don't know your history, you don't know who you are. And when you don't know who you are, it is difficult to give the proper respect to yourself. Therefore, it's impossible for other people to properly respect you. So we will be talking a little bit about some points of history today, encouraging you to do likewise in your educational part of your church. I believe I did say that February, Black History after February, is the theme. I'm going to start with, did you know? Did you know that the stethoscope was invented by, I'm going to spell, this person was an Egyptian. It's Imhotep. That was done in ancient Egypt. It's just that old. Ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptians were black people, and they knew medicine, science, and all those kinds of things. The cooking stove. Where would we be without a cooking stove? It was invented by T.A. Carringer, July the 25th, 1876. Some of you are familiar with something called the straightening comb. I imagine these young folks don't know what it is. But years ago, the African Americans would straighten their curly hair with a hot comb. Madam C.J. Walker, I'm told, was originally from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And for many years, she was recorded as the first African American millionaire. But a few decades ago, we found that that was an error. There was an earlier African American millionaire in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but they didn't know it at that time, or female. The street sweeper, Charles B. Brooks, March 17th, 1890. The phone transmitter was invented by Granville T. Woods, December the 2nd, 1884. And the last is the thermostat control. What controlled the thermostat was Frederick M. Jones, February 23rd, 1960. And we are going to stress again the importance of us. When I say us, I mean people in leadership. Hopefully these young people will take on this attitude of learning your history and teaching it. we're going to talk a little bit. We have a few more minutes here, and I'm going to introduce my guests. My first guest today, I believe it's Miss, all right,
Yes.
not Mrs.?
Miss.
Okay, my first guest is Miss Briana Williams, a student here at the University of Arkansas. Lovely personality. And we're going to talk about a number of things, and like your origin, where you're from, and what your ambitions are, and so forth. So I think we have about 2 more minutes on this side. So let's start. Miss Williams, hablas español, ¿verdad? You speak Spanish, right?
Poquito.
Un poquito. Where are you from? You are from Texas.
I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas.
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about, you have siblings?
Yes,
brothers
I
and
do.
sisters?
I have 6 brothers and 1 sister, and I'm the baby of all my siblings.
Oh, you're the spoiled one, right?
Yes, I'm spoiled.
The baby Jelly is the spoiled one. Okay. And anything you want to say about what they are doing? Anything in particular? You want to say hello to them? Because you're going to.
Hi.
You're gonna say hello to them?
all my brothers and my sisters. I really love them.
Is mom still living?
My mother is living. She is also a native of Dallas, Texas.
Dad?
And my father is deceased.
He's deceased.
Yes, sir.
I see. Is he a native of Texas too?
Yes, sir.
I see. Okay. All right. Now you're here in the university. Out of all the universities in the world, what happened you to select the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff?
I really have a funny story. I have always done drill team, which is dancing with the band. And originally, out of high school, I selected to come to UAPB. Due to financial difficulties, I decided to stay home and work and go to community college to help my mother. So I pretty much forgot about UAPB. And then at church, I met my God family, who's from Pine Bluff. And they ended up talking me into coming to UAPB, and here I am today.
In church?
Yes.
So that was a blessing. That was a blessing right there to be in
Yes.
church, huh? You want to name those godparents
My God family
from Pine Bluff,
is
who are from Pine Bluff?
Tia Parker. She's my godmother.
She was a Parker, Tia Parker, originally from Pine
Yes.
Bluff. That was a
And the
member of your church
Mixons
there.
are my God family. Bishop Mixon from Victory Faith, my God family.
I see. What was that denomination?
Non-denominational was the church
Non-denom-
that I attended in Dallas.
Okay, non-denominational. Okay, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes with Miss Briana Williams, a student here at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff.
Body language. Without saying a word, it can tell you so much. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
You make me wear my bike helmet.
Taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet.
Shoebox under the bed. Where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
Those of you who have just joined us, I'm Dr. Anthony O. Hobbs, host and founder of this educational program called The School Without Walls. My guest today is Miss
Briana Williams.
Briana Williams, a student here at the University of Arkansas. Origin is Dallas, Texas. On the other side of the break, you were telling me about your family now. Let's talk a little bit about, or you were also saying why you came here. Why did you come here now?
My God family.
Your God family arranged it for you?
Yes,
Do you have a scholarship or you have any type of aid from the university?
I always get the alumni endowment scholarships, which are a blessing because I'm an out-of-state student, so that really helps me out.
So you would encourage the alumni to continue to do what?
Yes, thank you so much to the alumni.
Okay, all right. Now, what is your major?
My major is English Liberal Arts, non-teaching.
That part I didn't like. Why the non-teaching?
Because I am an out-of-state student, if I choose to go back home to Texas, I would have to get certified in Texas.
You would?
As well as getting certified here in the state of Arkansas. So if I do decide to teach, I just want to take the test one time. But I don't want to be just close to just teaching. With an English degree, you can do anything.
Yeah, that's true. And with the English degree and certified to teach, you still can do anything too.
That's true.
But it requires, I know a little bit about that, it requires a higher grade point. Are you aware of that?
It requires
a higher grade point to go into the teaching than a non-teacher. Did you know that?
Oh, no, but the grade points is not an issue.
And the second thing, it requires courses, more courses. You have to take more courses, right? And of course, you have to pass those tests while you're here in school. I think you alluded to that. So if I'm clear, you said if you went through that process and passed the test and got certified in Arkansas, when you went to Texas, your understanding is you got to go through another test?
Yes, sir. So in order to get certified in the state of Texas as well, to teach there.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Now, I've known Arkansas teachers to go to Texas and teach. Do they allow them to teach and then get
I'm sure they, I believe they give you about 2 years to get your certification.
All right. Okay, then. All right. Well, you know, I stress the importance of all of you as you go through this process. Try to take the time out to prepare yourself the best way you can, because there are more teaching jobs in the world than any other job, and a lot of young folks don't know that. And some of them say, well, I don't want to teach, as though we do everything we want to do in life. You realize that adults do things to make a living at a decent that they probably don't necessarily just love doing for a while?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So your major is English. That's wonderful. I'm going to talk about that in the next section about communication. See, there are several means of communication. I don't want to get into it right now, so let's continue to talk. Your major is English, and what else do you say?
English Liberal Arts.
English Liberal Arts, and you're required to take all of the Spanish that we offer here too.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully you will have the vision, I should say, is to continue till you get a minor in Spanish. So should you need to go to school, you'll be able to do that. And of course, you're in this course where I'm teaching you all how to make money with the Spanish that you get here, right?
Yes, sir.
You're aware of that.
Yes,
you
sir.
don't have to be in a public school to use your English Spanish skill to make a decent living. Do you recall what I said about that? How might you make money with Spanish other than teaching in a classroom? Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Tell the public.
One thing
Speak
that
to that
Dr. Hobbs
camera
is
over there.
teaching his Spanish
Right here.
intermediate class is how to translate in the hospitals. If you have someone of a Spanish origin come in and they don't really know how to speak, or they can't say what's wrong with them to the doctor, then that's where I would come in and translate to the doctor exactly what's wrong with the patient.
Okay, let me add to that. I want you to teach the doctor's personnel to do it,
right,
rather than you be there in all of the various spots. So what you want to do, go to the doctor and say, Doctor, I have skills in Spanish. I understand you have personnel that need to learn the language. I am prepared to teach them. So that's when he pays you this $50 an hour or $100, whatever y'all bargain, to teach his staff, because you can teach several people to be in different places, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is your projection? How are you classified now?
A senior.
You're a senior?
Yes, sir.
You're not graduating in December,
No,
right?
sir, in May.
In May. Okay, you're passing all your courses?
Oh, yes,
You
sir.
expect to be out in May?
Yes, sir.
That's very good. Now, what is your projection? Let's see. I encourage you to have a projection. 5 years from now, where would you like for Briana to be?
5 years from now, I would really like to be in my career. I'm still deciding on exactly what I want to do, but I really want to work for the NFL as either a PR or an agent. And if I'm not there in 5 years, then I would like to be the head of HR for a corporation.
What? An H what?
Human resource.
Corporation.
Head of human resource for a corporation.
Now, does the being from Dallas, does that influence you at all as wanting to be a part of some type of, what you said?
NFL?
NFL.
Yes, I love the Dallas
Cowboys. Right? Do you have a general idea of what you would be doing?
Being in college, I've had my hands in so much, but I've always been the type of person when my friends need help editing their papers, they come to me. When they get ready to prepare a speech, they come to me and I prep them for certain things like that. And just being involved in different organizations, I'm the creator, so I do a lot of production, so just something
that
of that
leads
nature.
into, we have about 1 more minute. If you had to advise a young African American to attend a large, predominantly white university or the traditional HBC, which one would you suggest to the average black student?
Without hesitation, I would definitely suggest the HBCU, simply because it really does feel like a family. And that was the biggest thing for me when I got here. Mr. Cedric Jackson, he works in basic academics, and he told me, he was like, we're a family here at UAPB. And of course, coming in, I was like, yeah, right. But when I needed my balance paid, or if I wasn't sure if I was going to go home for Thanksgiving and Christmas break, the faculty and staff and students for UAPB was here for me, and I really appreciate that.
Do you work on the paper also?
Sir,
Are you?
I was a writer for the Alkin Sawyer.
And you have an opportunity to be involved in doing more too, would you
Yes,
think
sir.
so?
Yes, sir.
Because heads of, it's harder in a major white university to be the president of the student body, the president of the class, and all those various things. So you learn a lot of survival skills.
Absolutely.
And you're much more than a number. So before we leave, we want you to put another pitch directly to the young people out there. Do a little recruiting, okay?
Okay.
Randy, how much more time we have here in this section? 30 seconds? All right, in 30 seconds, I see. Let's give a projection in 10 years. What would you like to be in 10 years from now?
In 10 years, I would really love to have one of the desires of my heart, which is to be married, to be a wife.
That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to hear.
As well as successful in my career.
Right.
And giving back to my university, which is one of the first things I'm going to do when I graduate.
You know I wanted to hear that. Giving back, giving back. All right, we're going to stop on that, and we'll be back in just a few minutes for the final segment.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Those of you who have just joined us, I'm Dr. Anthony O'Hobbs, host and founder of this educational program called The School Without Walls. My guest today is the lovely Miss Briana Williams, a student here at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. On the other side of the break, we were talking about your 10-year projection, and I was so happy for you being a female, ambitious female, to realize the importance of good marriage. A lot of them miss that, and I've lived long enough to know what I'm talking about. I've met a lot of women, PhDs, MDs, the highest degrees, and so unhappy because they don't have a man to love them. Because that's important in the health of everybody. We are creatures that desire a warm relationship with the creature if we're normal of the opposite sex. And sometimes you get so involved in education. I'm saying this because this is an educational program. Females have gotten so involved in educating themselves and acquiring power and security till they miss the real part of life is love and happiness. Got this 10-bedroom home, the finest car in town, maybe 2 of them, and sitting up there night after night by yourself. They say that's hell on earth. I've had them tell me that, you know what I'm saying? But once you get about 40, 50, you can forget it. It's difficult to get married, especially when the woman, the last time I checked this, you perhaps are aware of this too, you know the ratio of male and female, the female is much greater, right?
Yes,
the average used to be 7 women to every 1 man. That included all races. But in the black race, it's about 30 to 1. So what you want to do, young ladies, don't be too high-minded to ignore this young man in college who is a nerd, as y'all call him, and be excited about the great athletes who have so many girls to choose from. You want to get somebody who means something, and sometimes you overlook that guy who turn out to be a doctor, lawyer, good teacher, good husband, and so forth and so on. Okay, so I think you have your priorities in order. Within 10 years from now, you expect to be involved in your career and have a decent home with a husband, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good, very good. Now, we should be within about 5 minutes of closing out here, exactly 5 minutes, he said. So I'm going to take the last 2 minutes as a review. So what I want you to do, look in that camera and talk to the young people. Do a little recruiting and advising, okay? Do that. You're speaking to the young people out there now.
Hello. As far as recruiting, I would encourage every African-American young person out there to really look up the historical black colleges and universities. It's a lot going on in the world, as we all know. And one thing I can say about my HBCU is that I really feel safe here because I'm among my people. Go to college. College is, I've always heard people say college is not for everyone, but at least try it and see if it's for you. And UAPB is a wonderful school. You can go visit our website, www.uapb.edu.
What does this UAPB stands for?
The University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff.
University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff.
At Pine Bluff.
Okay, go ahead, all right.
And just get on the website and look at the different things that our school has to offer, the majors, the celebrity and guest speakers that we have coming to our campus. And our chancellor is the coolest. I have to give it to him.
What is his name?
Chancellor Alexander.
He's the coolest.
He is the coolest.
That's wonderful. That's great. That's great. How much time, Randy? I want to do a 2-minute wrap up. We got 4 more minutes. Name the activities that you are extracurricular. How many things are you involved in here?
A lot.
Name some of them.
Okay. Since coming to the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff for 3 years, I was the Lady Lions softball team manager. And now my senior year, I interned with the athletic department for the athletic informations. I am a Fall 13 initiate of the Delta Eta chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and I am also a member of Sigma Chi Delta, the International English Honor Society. I am the second vice president of the National Panhellenic Council for the Divine Non-Greek Letter Organizations. I've worked with the Aachen Sawyer. I have been a member of Essence of a Woman. So just being here at UAPB, I really have been involved.
Let's
and a
stop
lot.
there. You have done a lot of things, and you have you maintained a 3-point?
Yes, sir. Higher than the 3-point GPA.
What?
Yes, sir.
What is your
My current GPA is a 3.3.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Let me talk with you a few minutes about the importance of communication. You said you're in English. There are 3 basic types of communication. Can you name 2 of them?
3 basic types of
Yeah,
communication?
3 basic types of communication, or modes of communication. Name one for me.
Oral communication.
Oral communication is one. What is the next one? Written.
Written communication.
Written communication,
Absolutely,
right?
yes.
And of course, of the 2, which would you say is the most important to have the highest skill level?
Oral.
Right. Why?
First impressions are everything.
And we do that more than we do anything else. Don't we? And this is very key. We have 2 minutes. I want to start summing up my program, the educational program on us. Every one of you out there that understood what Briana said helped us, your brother man or your sister, in better communication. See, so many of us do not communicate well, not so much because of the fault of the individual, it's the environment you were born in, and nobody's responsible for where you was born. But you are responsible for where you go after you're born. So the had cames and the had dids and those things that I hear, I want us to work diligently to remind them that they have not learned how to use something that I teach in Spanish, is the irregular verbs, right? The irregular verbs do not run on the same scale as a regular verb. Being an English major, you know that, right?
Yes, sir.
And that is what has hurt us, and I'm saying that because so many of us are in danger because of that. 1 more minute to go. Keep in mind that we are asking the pastors to step up to the bat and do more than have a good time in the Lord on Sunday morning. You have an educational building and you have educated people within your congregation. Get them involved in developing a school that address the needs of our people, because the public school system missed so many of our personal needs. Again, Briana, I'm glad to have you, and I believe our time is running down. Randy, guide me. It's running down.
Thank you so much for having me.
May God bless you.
God bless you as well.
Vaya
Thank you
con
so
Dios,
much,
eh?
Dr. Hobbs. God bless you.
All right.